Good morning on Friday, the 21st of February 2025. It's 8 a.m. in the Gambia and therefore coffee time on West Coast Radio. And on YouTube, our program is sponsored by Ja Oil.
In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Ja Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Ja Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Ja Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Ja Oil also target to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.
So let's meet our guest this morning, Madikay Faal. Madikay, welcome to West Coast Radio.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You're here to talk about PPP.
Yes, sir.
How did you end up in politics before we get into the nitty-gritty of the, party leadership dispute of PPP?
I've always have a desire for politics, and I've been a member of the PPP for years, and rise through the ranks and became the president of the PPP in the Diaspora. Oh. Yes, so that's where I ranked all the way through, and eventually find myself now as the Secretary General and Party Leader.
Okay, and this love for PPP from an early age,
yes.
I mean, where did it come from? I mean,
yes.
Does love of the PPP run through the family?
Yes, it really runs through the family because I was born and raised in Banjul, and every time Sadauda comes through the headquarters right there in Lehman Street. I
live not far from Lehman Street at Charles Street.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very good. Yeah, so we've always have that passion. Like government was always within reach for us, and we grew up with so many families of that served in the government during that time, and I've been the love for PPP, being so cultural and so inclusive, just the freedom. Every member, you come to PPP today, you're the same ranking as everyone else, and you can work through your way all the way through without any, roadblocks along the way. So we have a party that really, really, to put it all together, it's so democratic. It's almost like running a government within the PPP.
Yeah, it may be democratic, but it's been riddled, with all sorts of difficulties of late. Of course, we know what happened to the party after, Jammeh seized power militarily in 1994. But the party's been trying to bounce back since the advent of Barrow, but, full of, difficulties. What's behind the current difficulties, leadership dispute between yourself and, Keba Jallow, who preceded you in that position?
Yes, we had an election, the Congress, 21st of December 2024, mandated by the IEC, the Electoral Commission of the Gambia, and we conducted it. It was a very successful Congress where the incumbent, which is Keba Ijalo, former party leader, they conducted an election, and through that election, the candidates, we came in and we contested because most people were advocating a change in leadership, and we contested by just like any election. We went through campaigns through all the delegates, and eventually the delegates came and they voted me in, and among others, as the new executive.
So why is he still claiming, the leadership?
Well, first of all, Keba, have served the party for decades. He was a former party leader, and we owe him a debt of gratitude as a former party leader. Right now, I just spoke to him. I've spoke to him many times as he himself is not contesting his defeat, because he has gone through the media and informed that. But I believe whatever the case is, I think we can serve it internally. But the election and how the election was conducted was free and fair. It's open to the public. The IEC was right there, who certified it, and this is more like delegates voting. So these were the voice of the people that have spoken. And I'm just urging him as a leader to basically, basically just like respect the rule, the voice of the people, and move on and come together as I intend to bring this party, reorganize the party, and take it to better footing and better standing.
Yeah, but if you say he's not contesting, the outcome of the Congress election, why is he still? Why do you have to appeal to him? To respect, the
will of the people,
the will of the people, and join you in working for the PPP.
I believe eventually we will.
So to some degree, he is contesting, the outcome of that vote.
Well, the issue is when I speak with him, it doesn't. He gives me the assurance that and he spoke about it in general in the media and all, that I am the.
Well, we tried to invite him to come to this program, but he said he was waiting for a resolution of the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So where have you turned, to for resolution?
Was it under the constitution of PPP? The day after election, basically, I take the reign. So everything, including like the former the NEC that we call it, the National Electoral Committees, all of those, basically their mandates ends, and the new leadership puts in together his administration and moving forward. So for me, I have a task of rebuilding that my administration, and through that, we're making sure that not only me speaking, but through our executives and all these committees, so that we can engage. This is a situation that is very much regretful, it basically came into the media without us knowing first. It was a misstep, and I wish I knew, so that we can talk about it before it went out. And for the respect that I have for the former party leader, and the respect that I have for PPP, I really want to focus solely on rebuilding our party, making our party whole, like basically to stand on the ground as an independent PPP, so that we have much more challenging road ahead. Basically, as you mentioned before, PPP has been. There's a lot of things that have been done to PPP, but PPP is resilient, and PPP will always be an independent independent party.
Well, you're trying to make it independent again.
Yes.
Now, so before you came in, on who or what was the PPP dependent? Are you referring to its affiliation with the borough administration, which went sour ultimately anyway?
See, with that, I mean, with my new leadership right now, I'm going through trying to find out exactly what what is basically handed to me. So,
has anything been handed over to you yet? If Keba is holding on to the position, I suppose he still has the stamps, the letterheads.
Well, the letterheads, of course, he was a former party leader, and he has access to all of that. But the bottom line is, just like you, I think maybe you're referring to the letter that was sent out talking about, disapproval of the. So he has access to that, and we're urging him not to use that again because there's a new administration, and all of that is under my leadership.
You'd have thought that with the IEC recognizing your executive body, it would have, solved the whole problems. But apparently it's still rumbling on. Where are they hoping that, the problem will be resolved in their favor?
Well, the best advice that I can give, it only will be resolved through like this administration, because we have bodies that we can put together that can, talk and get agreements together. If we're talking about who won on the election, it is very evident because people have spoken. Yeah. But if
the Congress, you were elected. There's no doubt about that.
Because
they're simply saying that. Some technical due to some technical issues, you were not qualified to run or whatever.
See, this is the reason why. Because if we take it to the public, many will not understand because it will take a whole day for me to explain that to you, how the processes work. But the bottom line is, let me just put an analogy a little bit. You start a football match, the referee blows the whistle, and then you start the match, and then one person scores, and they say, okay, no, like let's redo the match, or let's stop the match because that you are losing or you've already lost, and trying to claim, redo. But when the whistle is blown, the match starts. Yes. You can't. So Congress was performed. Candidates came, and candidates. All the candidates. They went around the country. They campaigned to the same delegates that the administration put. The same delegates that they go campaigns to is the same delegates we went and campaigns to. So
why do you think you were chosen over Keba? In other words, what did you run on? I mean, what issues did you campaign on?
Yeah, the issues that we campaign on is basically unity, because we want to unite the party, and we want an independent PPP.
And he was not able during his tenure to unite the party.
It was not, in my view, wasn't uniting, and it was getting
even worse.
Yeah, it was.
I know you're trying to be very diplomatic in choosing the language.
Well, I have much respect for Keba, and I mean, he served the PPP, and he also served the nation as in KMC. So I have respect. We are all PPP, and we want to solve these issues because we have all the mechanisms to solve it internally. And when we conduct elections, that doesn't mean that we go out and we go our separate ways.
In other words, elections should not divide you.
Absolutely not. It cannot do that.
Okay, so you've taken over the PPP.
Yes.
Next year we have an election coming up, a presidential election.
Yes, sir.
Do you think you'll be strong enough? You'll be ready by December 2026 to join the race for #1 Marina Parade?
Yeah, this is my mandate right now is to reorganize the party, restructure the party, and make the party as independent as possible, and rebuild this party so that it can stand on its own and compete in every elections. That is my goal. And we want to make sure...
In every elections from now on, or in every election after 2026?
From now on.
From now on, okay.
Yeah, we are contesting. We are an independent party.
So there is a possibility of seeing Madikay Faal on the ballot box in December 2026?
Okay, currently I'm the Secretary General and party leader of PPP.
They always go on. They always go on to be the flag bearer, standard bearer.
Well, what I'm trying to say is PPP is the most democratic party you can ever be in, and when flag bearer comes to play, when we're ready for that, we have to go to Congress.
So technically you're saying you could be Secretary General and party leader, then you go to Congress whenever, and Keba Jallow is voted the flag bearer.
That can be. That can be. So because that's the part. Because you also have to be able to convey that to our members and our bodies as we build capacity, because we're encouraging everybody. Everybody knows PPP. Everybody knows members. I believe that PPP is in everybody, and right now what we're calling everybody back. There's a new leadership, and PPP is open. And everyone who comes to PPP can also contest to be flag bearer as well. So,
Tumanjai is in full support of your executive. How important is it to have her backing?
Tuma is my sister. We actually grew up the same street, because we were all from Banjul. Tuma, she is an essential person, somebody I admire a lot. What she believes. She believes in her faith, and she believes and loves PPP. So people like that, just because there was a misunderstanding or elections and stuff, that doesn't mean that they are not members of your party. And Tuma coming back is not even a comeback. Tuma belongs to PPP, and PPP will always appreciate her. And she has. Coming home is it's absolutely.
And what about older
exciting.
Veterans like former mayor, former minister James Formos Gomez, who may not be active right now? What do you have their support?
Absolutely, I have absolute support of James Gomez. I have absolute support. I'm going around meeting former members of our party. The elders.
I don't think James would say he was a former member. James would say
No.
James.
Yeah. No, I'm saying former. Excuse that. Not former, but these are all people who were part of PPP and building PPP to what it becomes. I'm coming in, basically walking on the the giants that were here before, and PPP is not changing. We have a framework, and we are continuing with that. PPP, that fateful day in '94, basically.
The coup d'etat you were making reference to.
Yes. Since that fateful day, so I'm trying to take it up from that point. modernizing PPP to where we are today. And hopefully, we're calling on everybody, to please take a good look at PPP again.
Fantastic.
And visit our website, www.pppgambia.com, and you can get more information on where we are at, resources. There's a lot of resources of what PPP is about, and where we are going with it.
Fantastic. Our time is almost up, but let's take another 5 minutes just to talk about the country. I mean, what's your vision for the Gambia?
My vision for the Gambia is it's the same thing, to unite Gambia.
You think we are divided now as a nation?
Well, we are not divided as a nation, but
so why seek to unite us if we are not divided?
Well, what I'm saying in unity is the multi-party, like the PPP has always fought for, to make sure that everybody is among the conversation, and nobody is left behind.
Yeah, but right now we have more parties than we ever had, even when PPP was in power.
Yes, we do. We have more parties, and that's why I'm going around as a new party leader to engage everyone and to see where the country is, and why we have so many parties in the first place. Those are all conversations that we've already started, and hopefully we can come together and see how we can build. Together, how we can build this.
And what do you think is the biggest challenge facing the country right now?
It's the economy. Inflation is really, really high, and I actually urge the government.
They brought it down from 18 point something at its peak to at one point it was even single figures. I mean, it's gone back up, I suppose, to double digits, 10 point something.
Right. So I mean, like we got to go back to the drawing board and see how we can help the marginalized community right now. Because people are hurting.
Who's marginalized? Christians?
No, marginalized is being in the lower bracket, and try to see how we can lift up people from where they are economically up the ladder, so that they can actually work to achieve their their goal to sustain their lives, to be able to afford their lives.
So cost of living is an issue for you?
It's very, very, very much in the forefront.
What about corruption?
Yes, corruption. In the day we are today, with technology and everything, corruption can really, really be eradicated in our society.
It can be, but you don't see it as a major problem.
It is a major problem. You can't run a country with corruption. So we really
do we have a corruption problem? Does the borough administration have a corruption problem?
I won't say the borough administration. I mean, basically, the country has a corruption problem, and yes, the buck stops with the president. And that's why I'm saying there's one president at a time. But at the current time, yes, the buck stops with him. If there's corruption going on in the country, he needs to put a stop to it. And I urge him to do that, because there's ways you can really stop this right now. And I hope that they take a look at, because he can't run a government with this type of corruption that's happening.
So we head into elections, in 2026. One of the biggest issues right now being talked about is Gambians in the diaspora still unable to vote.
Yes.
How important is, diaspora voting for you, for the PPP that you lead?
Well, you just mentioned it. PPP, people from the diaspora, you said they're Gambians.
They are Gambians, yes.
Yes, so why can't they vote? So the question is, why don't we reach out to everyone, no matter where you are, give them access to vote? So I am all for making sure that everyone, no matter where you are, if you want to vote, you have an access to vote. And PPP will stand for that.
Okay, how?
How?
Yeah.
We have all kinds of mechanisms. We have technology.
Because some are threatening court action. Is PPP ready to be part of any maybe class action, to get the diaspora to vote?
Well, under the current constitution,
Yes.
it doesn't allow it. So I'm not sure like what we're going to court for in that room. So I think dialogue is important, and I think I hope that there's a dialogue first before we go all the way into that, and speaking with the Independent Electoral Commission to facilitate that or take it through the channels where it needs to go, so the diaspora people have access to vote. It's very important. It's very crucial, and that's how we know and test our government to rather than just give more broad a sense of the electorate, where they are. That way we can have a much better democracy and much effective government when everybody have access to vote.
Fantastic. Madikay, thanks for coming to the program. Any final message?
Well, my final message is, I'm Usman Madikay Faal, the new party leader of PPP. And PPP is the oldest. As we celebrate our 66th birthday of PPP and the Diamond Jubilee of our independence, I'm urging everyone, sons, daughters, everyone, to revisit PPP and go to our website, www.ppp.com, and get more resources and get in contact with us, because we are here and we want to engage everyone, to reconsider PPP. Fantastic. As we go forward.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us.
You've been listening to Coffee Time with Peter Gomez this Friday, the 21st of February, 2025. On Monday, we'll have the Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Cisse. And then as we head into Ramadan and the season of Lent for Muslims and Christians respectively, we will have Imam Al-Haji Mokhtar Babali on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, the Most Reverend Bishop Banimanga of the Methodist Church. Thanks for listening. Have a good weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday.
In a world where progress never sleeps, one company stands out as the driving force behind infrastructure and energy solutions. Introducing our fuel company and cement producer, where excellence meets efficiency. Jar Oil. The company have 30 filling stations across the country that are all operating, which includes the recently completed Yarambamba and Old Yundum filling stations. And our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Along the years, Jar Oil introduces importation and distribution of cement in their line of business to diversify and strengthen their operations. Are you a cement retailer? At the moment, Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market. With a focus on sustainability and innovation, we are paving the way for a greener, stronger future. Trust in us to fuel your projects and lay the groundwork for success. We currently produce over 25,200,000 bags per year. As the largest cement producer in the country, Jar Oil also targets to export cement to the neighboring countries like Guinea-Bissau, Guinea-Conakry, and others. Join us on our journey to shape a world where every drop of fuel and every bag of cement makes a difference. Together, we can build a brighter tomorrow.